Okay, hello everyone. Dave Palin here. It's been a while since I've done a proper video on my YouTube channel, so I thought I was actually going to try and do a live stream, but I haven't got the patience to see if it'll work yet. So I need to test the live stream on my PC in the near future. But yeah, for many people that may have been watching my YouTube channel over the last few years, you'll know that there's not been a lot of content go up recently. Um, and the main reason for that is I went from racing on PlayStation 4 onto PC racing. And I couldn't live stream my races direct from the PC onto YouTube or even onto Twitch. Now, what I did for my first season racing online on the PC was recorded the races after the event and edited it and did a commentary on it, as you might have seen. But they took so long. In the season that's actually recently finished, I didn't have the time or the energy to sit there and record it for a few hours. Like, it would take like 3 or 4 hours to record it. And then not 3 or 4 hours to record it, but it'd take a long time to record it, make notes, edit it together, and do commentary on it. And by the time I'd finished a video, I'd probably watch my race 4 times. It gets a bit tiring, and it just took way too long. If I'm able to live stream, I'll go back to doing that, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. The PC just uses so much power, and the recording software uses so much power from the internet for live streaming, and then there's a compression done by YouTube that affects the quality. And the few times that I've tried broadcasting a race for Formula Sim Racing, because I've been commentating there, so if you've been missing me commentating, check out Formula Sim Racing's YouTube channel, because I've been commentating on races for the last year and a bit. I tried broadcasting a few races for them, it just wasn't good enough. The only way I could do it was to record, so I do need to try it when I'm driving at some point, just not today. But I do fancy doing a bit of driving, so that's what I've basically come on for. To do this, I've been driving Formula Sim Racing's 2018 beta car for the next season. I've spent a couple of hours doing that, to be honest, so any driving I do now is going to be a bit shocking. But I realised that a few days ago I saw a file on my computer with a load of cars on that I haven't had installed onto rFactor 2 for a while. So I basically went and installed them all. There was about 30 different items or something stupid like that, tracks and cars. So I thought, well, I'm going to have a look what's there, jump in something, maybe 2 or 3 cars, who knows, see what tracks I've got, and go for a bit of a drive. Now, for anyone that watches stuff on my YouTube channel and isn't aware, another thing that I have been doing recently with my brother Steve and a friend of ours, James Hulkenberg, you may know him from my F1 videos, Cody's videos that I've raced against and done commentary with. Yeah, we've been doing a Formula 1 podcast. And also other things. There is a bit of bad language on it, so if you're young and want to avoid bad language, don't go and watch it. But if you're interested to see what another thing that I've been getting up to for the last 3-4 months, I think it is, we've been doing it. Check out the I'll Tell You What.tv YouTube channel. I will put a link in the description of this video. I think we've done about 16-17 episodes now. It starts off with Formula 1 podcast, talking about the races that were happening towards the end of the season. Then as the F1 season has ended, we've done a few other things. And now the build-up is getting towards the new F1 season. We've been talking last week, was it this? Yeah, this week just gone. We were talking about the upcoming season. So yeah, come and check that YouTube channel out. Podcasts are usually 8 PM on a Tuesday, although I do know That was me knocking something over as I went to get my phone. Yeah, I do know that we won't be doing a podcast on, let me get the date, on Tuesday the 23rd. Yeah, there won't be a podcast then. Whether I'll have this video up by now or not, I don't know. But yeah, Tuesday 23rd of January there won't be a podcast, but there will be one afterwards, and we're doing a little bit of a livery special. Real ones, made up ones, talking about liveries and stuff like that, and there'll be a few other items as well. But as I said, there is a bit of bad language on there. Anyway, okay. I'm on as R-Factor 2 at the moment. Like I said, I've not really done much driving lately other than a couple of hours today. I don't really play about with the settings too much. I just want to jump in something and go for a drive. So let's have a look at what cars. I mean, I've got a massive list of cars here now. So let's see, we've got AMG T3s. What's this? The 799R then. Porsche. Tail happy cars then. Let's see, what else have we got? Chevy Camaros, Corvettes. I want something a little bit mental, to be honest. Got the old F1 cars. I've done plenty of previous videos with them. Audi TT. That looks a bit interesting. That might have to be used. Let's see, that's an old FSR car. I believe that's just a standard road car BMW. You can't see it at the minute. Don't worry, because I'm not going to go into it. I've not driven it yet. Yeah, not driven it yet because it's just a stock road car. But yeah, so I need to try and find myself. Oh, the Ferrari Challenge. I might go with. Although saying that, there is a car that I do know. This hill climb car, absolutely mental. Got an F1 engine in it. I've driven that around a few tracks, so may have to give that a blast. Oh, an Aussie V8. Oh, I'm a little spoilt for choice here, to be honest. Ooh, racing truck, F1 car, Toyota Celica GTO. Looks a bit stock, that. I don't think we'll be going with it's from 1987. Oh, okay, I really need to try and find myself something to drive. It's going to be an Audi R8. I must admit, I do wish I was able to make my own tracks and cars, to be honest, and mod cars. I would love to be able to do that. Ooh, Michael Schumacher Sauber. Tempting, but I think I'm gonna have to go with. I think I'm gonna have to go with the. I know that's an absolutely mental car, but I'm gonna go with an Aussie V8 because I've not driven them yet. It's gonna have to be Jim Beam just because it's alcoholic. I've no idea what the car's drives like. I guess we will find out. Okay, now I just need to pick a track, and before anyone goes Bathurst there, pick Bathurst. I've driven Bathurst a few times. It's an evil bitch. I love it, I really do, but it's a track where you really have to work on a setup to get the most out of that track. Plenty of Formula Sim racing circuits. An Aussie V8 around Monaco, that'd be interesting. Although I may actually do that. It's been a while since I've driven around Monaco. So plenty of tracks here to have a look at. Go on now, let's be stupid. Go on, let's be stupid. Let's go and have a little drive around Monaco, shall we? Now, when I start driving, I have no idea if you're going to be able to hear me or not, so apologies if you can't. I might turn my engine noise down actually to see if that'll help. Credits due to anyone whose pictures appear on the screen. I am just using downloaded stuff from Steam, and stuff that was on, I think it was Race Department's website. I mean, I'm still fairly new to PC racing, to be honest. But so yeah, I'll try and turn the engine noise down. You still might not be able to hear me. I mean, for all I know, the sounds aren't working now, and I won't be able to hear the cars at all. But having said that, hopefully you will. We'll find out when it loads through. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can just check. Yeah, okay, it is capturing sound. Okay, so I'm going to take some fuel out of it, just because I'm not going to be doing a fuck ton of laps. I'm not really going to do anything with the setup, to be honest. Just make sure that I'm on dry tyres. Ooh, yeah, let's go with a sprint tyre. I would guess that's going to be quicker. No idea what the car's going to be like, and I guess we will have to wait and see. Right, I'm going to turn the engine volume right down. You still may not be able to hear me. I have turned the engine volume down, as you've just seen, but it still sounds quite loud in my ear. And I tell you what, the force feedback is feeling very, very strong in this car. It's a big car to try and get out of a Monaco pit lane. Now, on this recording you will see that I've obviously got a lot of information on my screen. I wonder if I can actually turn them off. No. The rev counter's usually in a different place. I wonder if I can move it. Select object. It's been a long time since I have edited any of this stuff. Okay, let's just see if I can move it out of the way a bit. That'll do. It did not like that. Sorry, Mr. Marshall, but you're getting run over. Well, it's a little bit of a beast. What a turn! It is like driving on ice at the minute. Going round there sideways then. She's spinning. Whew. Get round. Oh. Now this isn't exactly the best of tracks to just jump on and have a thrash around. But, I mean, to be fair, I've not driven around this particular version of this track. I've never driven this car. I've no setup on, and because I've never actually driven around this track, there is no rubber down. It's a fresh, clean track, unless I've preset a real road, but I doubt it because it just felt like I was driving on ice then. But the car was actually quite enjoyable to drive, as daft as that might sound. It was a handful, it was all over the place, it was not easy, but it was quite enjoyable to drive. It'll be interesting to see what it's like when I jump back out there. With the noise it was making as well, when it sounded like it was slapping someone on the arse with a kinky paddle every time I changed gear. It's definitely an interesting sound. Now I've tried the Aussie V8 Utes and they were awful, absolutely awful. But I'll be honest, I think even my brother Steve will enjoy having a blast in these. Now I might take it to another track where I've got a bit more grip on it, but yeah, as you can tell, definitely a bit of a handful. But enjoyable nevertheless. I mean, you can tell that this track is old. Graphically, it's not particularly brilliant. I mean, to be fair, it's better than anything I could do. But yeah, I mean, graphically, not great. But I must admit, I've always been a fan of Aussie V8s. I've always liked them. Apart from when they do that at the swimming pool. Right, okay. I'm going to go back out for another drive in it. So if you couldn't hear me through any of that, I do apologise. Basically saying it's a handful, it's slippery, and it's not exactly easy to drive the car. I've never driven this car on this track. So let's see how badly we do this time. That's full lock. Holy shit! In the barrier. Oh, miss. Oh no. And there's a Verstappen. Not good. That noise is just wrong. It's wrong, but it's so right. No. Ah, shouldn't have gone down the gear. Oh. You can tell it's a heavy car. You know what? I haven't had. Although I know the driving is shocking. Right, I know the driving is shocking, but I haven't had this much fun in a car for a while. I mean, the thing's an absolute fucking beast. It really is an absolute beast. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go and take it to a proper racetrack somewhere, because I mean, even when I was losing control of the car, it was making me laugh. The noise of that car is just absolutely ridiculous. But it's absolutely brilliant. It was just making me chuckle. I'm not doing Bathurst. I'm not taking it to Bathurst. That's for definite. Let's see. Should I take it to one of those tracks? I've got a few of them. It's tempting. Let's see, where shall I go? I'm not taking it to the Nordschleife. That would just be mental. Go on then, let's take it to. Tell you what, I'm going to go to Silverstone, because I should have some real road for that, which means there should be some grip on the track. So let's find out. I must admit, I'd love to be able to drive this car with the sound through my stereo and turned up. Holy shit, that would make some noise. But to be honest, I'm probably shouting as it is anyway. And if I had the audio coming through my stereo, holy shit, I'd have neighbours thinking someone's getting shot. I'd have my closest neighbour fucking wanting to kick the door down because of the noise I'm making. Right. Let's take some fuel out of it again. I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be just as hard to fucking drive around Silverstone as it was around Monaco. Okay, I'm not going to do anything with the setup at all. Oh, that noise. it's just that smack. Oh dear. That noise is just wrong. Oh, I don't want to make it. I don't want to make it. Ah. I'm gonna have to really try and find out what the brakes are like on this, because at Monaco I never really used them a lot. Holy shit, 200 degrees on the rear. I barely got fucking going. I just thought I better loaded the real road onto the race, not onto practice. Right. I think we'll go with either one of those. But I mean the noise of this car, it's a little bit mental. And the thing is, it'd be easy to to look at this video and think, oh fucking hell, he can't fucking drive. Okay, I may have lost a little bit of talent, but you know what? Going from PlayStation to PC on R-Factor 2, holy fuck, was an eye-opener for me. On console, you are so looked after, or have been so looked after. I mean, there's not many cars that I've downloaded for R-Factor 2 that you can jump in it and go driving somewhere dead quick. Every car needs work on setups. It could be little things, it could be big things. I used plenty of brake that time, it didn't like it. Seems to be a very temperamental car. It don't want to stop. It don't want to stop. It don't want to turn either. Ooh. Fucking hell, it really does not handle the best. I mean, I'd never. Holy cow. You would usually never go down a couple of gears to go into Maggotts and Beckett's, but holy cow. This is what I'm on about though, that a lot of the cars need work on the setup. and this is definitely one of them. I love the noise though. I love the noise. And I can imagine spend a bit of time playing about with the setup on that car. It's going to be a hell of a fucking beast to drive. So that's going to be one of the things I'm going to be doing in the near future, is working on a setup for that. Because I mean, it's the first time I've ever driven that. I've had the game a couple of years. Okay, let's see if we can find something that may be a little more drivable. Let's see, that could be a Ferrari. Now, has my game just crashed? I'm not entirely sure. It may have done, because it's not changing car. Oh no, there we go. I think that might be there's a problem with that particular car. Okay, let's go and find ourselves something else then. Ah yes, the Ferrari challenge that I mentioned. Okay, let's randomly pick that one. No, because that's a shit colour. Go on then, blue Ferrari challenge. Let's pick a different track. Now, you know what? It's been a long time since I've driven at Paul Ricard. And when I say a long time, I mean fucking years and years. We could take it there for a drive. Laguna Seca. Now Magny-Cours. Let's go to Magny-Cours. Now I doubt very much I have a real road for this track. No, I don't. Actually, maybe I do. No. Okay. Let's do a preset one and speed it up so it grips up nicely. Let's go and see what this Ferrari challenge was like. I do know I've driven this car before. It was a long time ago though. I will say apologies if the quality of the footage doesn't look very good. Obviously the footage gets compressed by YouTube, even though I will render it in the best quality I have available. That is if I decide to put the video out. For all I know, all my driving is going to be shit, so I'll just might not bother. But yeah, who knows? But I mean, it is a weird one though. It's frustrating at times with a lot of the cars that I've downloaded in the past. I mean, for example, the BMW Judd. I mean, I've driven that a few times. Out of the box, it's awful. It is absolutely dreadful. The only thing it's got going for it is the fact, the noise that it makes, and it's a bit like the Aussie V8, where you're like, oh, that's interesting. But the car handles like a bag of shit, so you can't just sort of jump in it and go, right, okay, let's thrash around a track for a few hours. It's more a case of jumping it, crash a lot, and then think, right, okay, am I going to work on a setup or not bother? Well, let's see what the Ferrari sounds like in comparison to the Aussie V8, and also, what the fuck is with these narrow garages? You know I'm going to hit the garage wall. Nope, avoided it. It's definitely a lot quieter than the Aussie V8. Got a bit more grip as well. to the corner I hate on this track. So it's quite a nice car, this. Oh, they didn't like me doing that. A little bit of a corner cut. Go on, get around. Kick that rear out. Kick the rear out. Come on. Alright, just grip and go. Obviously, it feels like it's lacking a bit of power, if I'm honest. Quite enjoyable. Interestingly, I've got a very nice feel on the wheel with this car. With the Aussie V8, it was a bit odd. This probably feels closer to a real car than I've ever felt. Gonna run wide, that is. Come on, keep going, keep going. You know what, it doesn't sound anything like the Aussie V8, but it handles very nice. Who likes bollards anyway? Could do with a handbrake there, really. This is a nice car. Braked way too late for that corner then. Okay, I'm actually killing the tyres, but no, I really don't care. I'm liking this car. Oh, big vibrations from the lockups. too much. Oh, go on, go, go! Oh, now, that was nice. That was nice. So I need to go and have a look. I need to see the replay of this. Now, two completely different cars. Two completely different cars. The Aussie V8 compared to this. But I've got to say, this car handles so nice. So nice. I mean, I was able to just throw it about. Kick the rear out, throw it around. Yeah, okay, I went off track. Who cares? It was fun. I really did like that. Now, the interesting thing is that recently, if you check out the I'll Tell You What TV YouTube channel, me and Steve recently played on Gran Turismo 5 from the PlayStation 3. And that game gave me a hell of a lot of enjoyment going back and having a go on it. And I got to admit, I'd said I hadn't driven a racing game for a long time that I enjoyed as much as I did having a go on GT5. But you know what? I think this car's just topped it. I mean, this was really enjoyable. Now, I'm trying to think how many laps I did. I think it was 3 or 4 laps in this car, something like that. I mean, okay, I know the track a bit. No setup on the car or anything. And for the last 2 laps, I was just trying to have fun and see how sideways I could get it. And to be fair, on the replay, it's probably going to look really shit. It's probably like little tag slapper, and that is it. But that's not how it felt when I was driving the car. Bit of a corner cut there. I think, I'm not sure if it was on the first or second lap, turn 2, when I was saying, go on, kick the rear out, kick the rear out. I knew at that point I was able to abuse it, because I was trying to kick the rear out and it just wasn't quite happening, but I still got round the corner. So at that point I knew, right, okay, I can have some fun in this car. I mean, I did say as well it could probably do with a bit more power, and it'd be interesting with a little more power, but to be fair, I mean, that was a really fun car to just thrash about, throw around. Not bad, considering I wasn't really trying to drift it. I was trying to save the car, but the thing is, there's so many different. I mean, the Aussie V8, I'd have had no chance of doing that, because I mentioned about the difference in feel on the wheel. The Aussie V8's wheel rotation was tiny, which meant every adjustment is massive, and trying to do opposite lock on it was nigh on impossible. Whereas with this, it was lovely, very easy, very comfortable to do. Now, there was me saying there's not many cars that you can jump in and just drive and go. This is one that you can, that's for sure. Obviously, the way I was driving it, not the quickest way around the track, but that's not what I'm here to do today. Happy people in the crowd. does make a nice noise. I mean, I have got the engine noise turned down as well, so it probably does sound better when it's turned up a bit. Nail them bollards. Yeah, that's where I wanted the handbrake. I'm trying to think. I mean, as I said, this is a car that I know I have driven before, and there's a few I've got that I have, obviously. The Corvette from this class of car was very nice from what I remember. The Mercedes was very heavy but interesting to drive. The Porsche 911s are tail happy monsters, but if you can get them right, they could be very nice cars to drive. But it's been a while since I've driven an LMP1. I might have a blast in one of those. I also might not. I'm going to have another. I'm tempted to take this to a circuit where I could really try drifting the fuck out of it, but I know if I went somewhere to purposely try that, I wouldn't be able to get around the circuit. Yeah, that I got a little bit wrong, I think. Like I say, it'd be easy to look at this and just go, he can't fucking drive. Not the case, I assure you. Well, it might seem like it from my last season racing. Some people might say I've not put the videos up because the races were shit. To be honest, I probably had one of my worst seasons ever. But more to do with external factors rather than not being able to drive. Drive it like you stole it. Drive it like you stole it. Go on, get it in there. Get it in there. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's what I was waiting for. You know what? I might even have to go back and have a look at that in slow motion. That was nice. You know what? I'm surprised it worked considering I did intend to do it. See, now in slow motion, it just looks like I'm going really slow. Loved it. Loved it. I'm gonna have to have another look. You can't blame me. I mean, to be fair, it's not often you ever watch this moment and it actually works. Couldn't have got it better if I'd have tried. I enjoyed that. I really did enjoy that. Right, okay, I am going to do one more, at least one more car, but there is something I need to do, so I am going to quickly end this recording so I can start up a fresh one. Okay, so let's pick another car. That Ferrari, fucking brilliant, absolutely fucking brilliant. Now I would tell you where I got it from. The only thing I can think is I think it was a race department website. It was, I mean, that car was brilliant. Let's see, these are the Porsches. Yeah, these Porsches absolutely fucking mental. Very tail happy. But you know what? Because I talked about it, I'm gonna have to. I can't remember if I've done a previous video with this car. I may have done. If I have, apologies, folks, because you're about to get bored watching it again. If you haven't, if I haven't put one up previously, then you could be in for a bit of a surprise. Now, I do know that I was trying to get it around the Nordschleife, and I was so close on so many times, but unfortunately I'd end up going off somewhere. I'm tempted to go with Magny Core again, you know, but you know what, should we go? Bahrain's a bit of an odd track. I could go Bahrain. Or I could go Paul Ricard. I say I've not driven at Paul Ricard. We're talking probably 10-15 years. That's how long it's been. I'm not even certain which version is like the Grand Prix version. Probably that. Now, obviously, I definitely have no real road for this, so I'm going to go preset with high rubber. This is going to be a handful around any track, especially one I haven't driven on. I'd have been better off taking it around Magny Core, to be honest, because then it could have compared it to the Ferrari, but I'm just doing this video for fun, so fuck it, I might as well go to tracks I've never been on, and then you can laugh at me crashing. Now, with the tracks as well, I mean, it's very, very easy to get cars and tracks for R-Factor 2. That is something that I have been very, very surprised at. There are some that you have to pay for, but there's plenty that you don't. And considering that, I mean, the game itself is actually old now. I think it's 2008 it was made, but it was recently taken over by a company called Studio 397 within the last year or two. And they've been doing a lot of upgrades on it. Like you may see at the top of my screen, it says deprecated DX9 graphics engine. Please upgrade to DX11. I mean, it's been updated for years. This game. And what Studio 397 have been doing recently is very impressive. Now, I thought so. Let's load. Yeah, it's very impressive now. I haven't upgraded to DX11 yet. Well, I've tried it, and I need to play about my graphics settings because it didn't agree with my system, with the settings that I had on. And when I did it, I didn't have the time to play about with it, but I will need to do that. It does visually look improved on DX11, that's for certain. But like all the information I have on my screen, for example, it's a plugin, it's an add-on, which DX11 doesn't support. So there's still not a lot of that kind of info you can get for DX11 yet. But slowly things are being made for it. Like the rev counter I've got, I mean, it's all positioned for when I'm driving an F1 car. But even the rev counter, like that'll be gone. But there is a new thing called SimHub, I think it is, which basically gives you a little bit of a hub overlay. But I haven't tried it on the DX11 yet, but I will at some point. Personally, I just like to have all of the information, like the tyre temperatures, tyre wear, all that kind of stuff. Yes, you can use something called Motec, a telemetry reader, to give you all that information, but I do like to have it on the screen so I can just look, know, and deal with it. Right, get ready for some noise. Sounds fast and I ain't even fucking gone anywhere yet. That's a nasty place to put a corner. Oh, she didn't like that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Can't drift it like you can the the Ferrari. That noise though, that noise is just wrong. I mean, it's no surprise it sounds like it does. I mean, it's got an F1 engine in it, but still. I mean, this is. I've worked on the setup for this car. I mean, I've no idea where. Like, I didn't know the layout of the track. So driving around here is not that easy. But that noise is just. I mean, it's weird to see like a BMW Saloon, an M3, and hear it like this. But it's an interesting car to drive. Like I say though, first download of it, it's evil to drive. These F1 cars need to sound like this again, without a doubt. Yep, track don't go that way, Dave. Can you tell I don't know the track? Now when I was weaving like this, the reason for that was when I'd locked up, the vibrations were so bad that weaving was the only way to stop the vibrations. It's a beautiful sound. I'd say tactically parked, although on the evidence of my driving on this video today, Ferrari would give me a test drive, BMW won't, and neither would the Aussie V8s. Either way though, I mean that's a car that I enjoy driving that at some locations. Because it is an absolute beast. It can be a very frustrating car to drive. Like when I was driving it around the Nordschleife, that did get very, very frustrating. But it did allow me to work on setup a lot. Okay, I'm thinking I'm going to have a go in one more car. I'm tempted to go in a slightly more modern F1 car, so you can tell the difference of the sound. You know what, I will. I don't know what this particular mod is like, to be honest. I don't know how good a quality it is. I mean, it doesn't look particularly special, if I'm honest. But I will give it a go. just to compare the sounds, because I mean that BMW I've just driven, as I said, it has an old F1 engine in it, and the noise it makes is absolutely phenomenal, and I think F1 cars need to get back to that, to be honest. Imola. Okay, let's go and have a punt round Imola, shall we? Do the real road on here. Ooh, there isn't a preset one I can do. Okay, right. Again, I've got no setup now. Like I said, I can't remember where I got this particular modification from. This F1 mod probably isn't the best one out there. It won't be as good as the actual official F1 games, but it's just for me to have a reminder of what it's like on this, and you guys can see as well. Now, in, for example, Formula Sim Racing, the cars that we use there are built by people within Formula Sim Racing. They aren't specifically F1 cars. It's not like they've gone, oh, Codemaster's making an F1 car, right, let's steal it. It's not like that. It is a sort of a completely built mod. Yes, there may be aspects where you could look at some of the cars and go, that looks like a Brawn. So there might be some similarities, but that's because it is, I suppose, meant to be sort of along the lines of Formula 1. So, but anyway, now I have in the past enjoyed driving 25 degrees. That's a lot. Yeah, I have in the past enjoyed driving the LMP1 cars. It's been a long time since I've driven one though, so I may do a couple of laps in one of those. We'll have to see, but let's see what this car sounds like. Initial noise makes you think, oh, not bad. That though, not so good. It's not very inspiring, if I'm honest. I was expecting the chicane then. I was not expecting a chicane like that there. I was just expecting this corner. Proper curbs. No cutting them corners. What awful sound. Okay, the last time I drove around Imola was on a slightly more modern version, and I forgot there was a chicane over here. I was heading straight on down the start finish then. got some serious vibrations now. It's not a very inspiring car to drive. You know what? That's what, an out lap and a flying lap. I'm done. I'm bored. The sound is, well, it's awful, and it's no disrespect to the people that have modded the car. They've based it on real life as much as they can, but that noise compared to that BMW I was just driving, there's no comparison. Sounds awful. Sounds awful. I'm not even gonna punish you by leaving that on. Right. I am going to see if I have got the LMP ones, because if I have, I will do a couple of laps in one of those, and then that'll be the end. Now let's see. I know there was the old ones that I had. I don't think I've got the slightly more modern ones. That's BTCC. This is where I end up not even being able to find the ones I had earlier. Now these are not the LMP ones I was on about. These are old, seriously old. I don't think, it doesn't look like I've got them. No, I haven't, unfortunately. That is a shame. I'm going to have to re-download the LMP ones, because I did really enjoy driving those. Okay. Right, well, I'll tell you what I'll do then. I'm going to end my video on that, I think. I mean, I've been recording for a lot longer than I was expecting to. Hang on, I wonder. No, they are all Porsches, I think. For Porsches, Ferraris. Let's see. BMW Z4, nice car, the BMW Z4, or at least I like it. What do we have here? That's another. They're all Z4s now, aren't they? Oh well. Right, okay, yeah, I will leave it at that. Hopefully I'll be able to record some more stuff in the near future. Like I say, I will be doing a test to see if I can live stream straight off my PC. What I will say though is, if you do want to have a catch up of what I've been up to over the last probably a year, just under a year, check out the Formula Sim Racing YouTube channel, where I was commentating on the World Championship races, and I was competing in the pro races. There was also a few ace races that I did commentary on as well. And like I say, if you want to check out an F1 podcast, it does have other stuff on it as well. James talks about Star Wars a lot, but we do. It's basically F1 and everything else. So we do talk about a lot of random stuff. So yeah, if you want to check that out, have a look at the I'll Tell You What.tv YouTube channel. I'll put links for both in the description. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and hopefully I've kept you up to date with what I'm up to at the moment. And lastly, I will say, hopefully over the this coming year, I will be competing in Formula Sim racing again. So come and check us out for that. Okay, that's all from me. Have a good one, folks. Actually, before I go, if you didn't know which car I was driving last year, let's see, I will just quickly show you just before I go. I'll show you the car I was using last season, racing for Go Speed. Nice design, nice helmet there, if I do say so myself. Designed by me, very simple really, but yeah, that was the Go Speed car that I was racing in last year. Okay, that's all folks, see you later.